Excuse me?
Play Margaritaville. I love that song.
Darling, I think you're referring to my song Pina Colada Burke.
No, Margaritaville.
I think you mean Pina Colada Burke. Little song I wrote 7.5 fucking years before Margaritaville was even on the map. Of course, you wouldn't know that, because you weren't even born yet.
Come on, Hawkshaw, let's get us a drink.
I don't need this shit.
Come on, man.
Fuck that guy, son of a bitch. Motherfucker.
Welcome into the Week 9 Laces Out Fantasy Football Recap Show, brought to you by Nike, Budweiser, and Microsoft. That would be cool, huh? No, that's not true at all. I'm probably going to get sued for saying that, but welcome back. It is already Week 9. We're already 9 weeks into the fantasy football season. Week 9 saw a lot of more major injuries. You know, I guess no week is any different than the other in the NFL with injuries, but we had Jaden Daniels go down, his arm flopping around like a Toy Story character or something like that. I don't know if anyone saw that footage, but that was wild. Tucker Kraft, rest in peace. Aaron Jones, C.J. Stroud, Joe Alt, lineman for the Chargers. That hurts their offense. And Brian Thomas Jr., just not the season people expected. Some fun stats from Week 9. If you had Brock Bowers, you had an 81% chance that you were the victorious team this week. You had a 77% chance of winning if you had Drake London, and a 74% chance if you had Christian McCaffrey, which we saw in our league, play out in our league. And Patrick Mahomes, if you had Patrick Mahomes, you likely... you only had about a 38% chance of winning. Jordan Love, 38% chance of winning. And DK Metcalf, 39.5% chance. So some players causing some teams some heartache this week. Here's a weird stat. Caleb Williams caught 2 passes for 22 yards and a touchdown. So that's a quarterback catching 2 passes and a touchdown on top of the passing production. Very cool. Cheat code type of day for Caleb Williams. All right, let's get into the Week 9 weekly review. All right, the average team score this week was 110.51 points. So that was up 4.22% over last week. 8 teams beat their projected point scores on the week. 9 teams scored over 100 points. And we had 2 underdog wins on the week, which was 2 less than Week 8. All right, let's get into the Week 9 matchup recaps. Up first, we had the Pack taking on Trevor's Locks. The Pack 6-2 in first place going into this matchup. Trevor's Locks 5-3 in fourth place. 2 top 5 teams. Final score: Trevor's Locks 134.8 points. The Pack, a very disappointing 90.84 points on the week, second lowest total on the season for the Pack. Previous weeks, Trevor's Locks coming off a really good win over Dog Pound. The Pack coming off a really strong win, so this was the matchup to watch per Yahoo on the week. Didn't quite live up to expectations on my side, but boy, did Trevor's Locks put up some good points. Justin Herbert, Sam Laporta, JSN, and James Cook continue to lead the way for Trevor's Locks, while Jonathan Taylor, having almost an MVP type running back season up to this point, just stuffed by that Pittsburgh defense. Khalil Shakir and the New England defense all having disappointing days. Trevor's Locks now leads the series all-time 3-1. Standing impacts, we had Trevor's Locks go to a 4-win win streak, climbing to 6-3 and entering the top 3 conversation in our league. The Pack fell to 6-3 and also falls to second place. This marks the second sub 100 point performance for the Pack on the season and the first since week 4. Radical Rob taking on This Ain't Last Year #1. So Rob versus Lewis. Rob coming into the week 6-2 in third place. Lewis 5-3 in fifth place. Another top 5 matchup. Final score: Radical Rob 137.6 points. Lewis's team 93.06 points. Top performers for Radical Rob's team: T. Higgins, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty, and the Pittsburgh defense having strong days, while Lewis's team, J.K. Dobbins, Chuba Hubbard, and Keenan Allen did not perform. All-time record, Radical Rob leads this series 2-1. Radical Rob now moving into first place, #1 overall seed, even though starting this week didn't have a starting quarterback. So put up, I think, a league best this week, 137, without a starting quarterback. So just really goes to show the potential there, but also shows caution. Pay attention to your lineups depending on who's ruled out right before the game. Lewis's team drops to 5-4 on the season, sliding from 5th back to the middle of the playoff pack, but still involved there. Lewis's team will look to bounce back this week, while Rob will look to hold on to that #1 seed. Page's Primo team taking on Tua in the pink. Page's Primo team coming into the week at 2-6 in 12th place. Johnny's team 3-5 in 11th place. Final score: Tua in the pink 126.62 points to Page's Primo's team 119.49 points. Really strong showing from Page's team, showing a little bit of that spark that we saw last season. However, wasn't good enough in week 9. Top performers for Tua in the pink: Darius Slayton, Josh Jacobs, Drake London, and Devon Achane. Underperformers for Page's Primo team were Kenneth Walker, Tyler Warren, and the Green Bay defense. Tell me about it. All-time record, Tua in the pink leads the series now 3-1. Tua in the pink improves to 4-5, so fighting for the 500 mark there, staying right within striking distance of the 8-seed playoff bubble. Page's Primo team drops to 2-7, which would pretty much need a near perfect performance, a winning out of the rest of the regular season to have a shot at the playoffs. Matt's Gritty Goombas taking on Steve's Retirees, 4-5, 11th place. Matt's Gritty Goombas taking on the 2-7, 12th place Steve's Retirees. Final score: nice week for Steve's Retirees, 121.4 points, defeating Matt's team, which scored 90.32 points. Here's that 90-point club, I hear you. Top performers for Steve's team: Lamar Jackson, welcome back, Dalton Kincaid, Jamar Chase, and the Baltimore defense. Flops for Matt's team: Jordan Mason, Blake Corum, and Brendan Aubrey. All-time, Matt's Gritty Goombas leads the series 2-1. But however, we'd have a first win alert here. Steve's Retirees beats Matt's Gritty Goombas for the first time in league history. Congrats to Steve's Retirees. Steve's Retirees improves to 3-7 on the season, still in 12th place, but ended a multi-game losing streak, which is always good to do because at 3-7, believe it or not, you still have a really good shot at making the playoffs if you can string together some wins over the next few weeks. Matt's Gritty Goombas drops to 4-6 on the season, just ahead of Steve's Retirees at 11th place. Both teams remain outside of playoff contention at this point. Next up, we have Dominic the Donkey. The Donkey taking on Sleuthy Sloths. 4-4, 8th place. Dominic the Donkey taking on the 14th bottom seed team in Sleuthy Sloths at 1-7. Tough season for Brendan right now. Final score: Dominic the Donkey 107.55 to Sleuthy Sloths 99.95 points. Top performers for the Donkey: Joe Flacco, just throwing touchdowns all over the place over there in Cincinnati. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Stephon Diggs, and George Pickens all had good days for Dominic the Donkey, while Kayshon Boutte, Kamani Vidal, and Kyron Williams solid game, but wasn't enough to pull it through for Brendan's team. All time, Dominic the Donkey leads the series 3-1. Dominic the Donkey improves to 5-4 on the season, moves up to 7th place, re-entering the playoff contention after just sitting outside the bubble, while Brendan drops to 1-8 in last place, but can certainly play spoiler as we move into the later part of the season. All right, we have Dog Pound 5-4 in 8th place coming into the week, taking on Molly Dangerfield, 6-3. Final score, Molly Dangerfield 109.77, defeating Angelo's team 98.96. This was a good matchup. It was very close. Kyle Manungai, welcome to the league, putting up almost 24 points. Chase Brown finally seeing some success with Joe Flacco at quarterback. JJ McCarthy, hey, coming back off the injury, solid 21 points. And Michael Pittman Jr. Flops for Dog Pound. Alvin Kamara just doesn't seem to be firing on all cylinders there. Travis Hunter, who's on, I believe, IR, is injured right now. And then Jake Bates. All-time Dog Pound leads this series 2-1. We have another first win alert. Molly Dangerfield beating Dog Pound for the first time in league history here in our third season. Molly improves to 7-3 in 5th place on the season, while Dog Pound falls to 500 in 8th place, right at the top of the playoff bubble. And definitely, last but not least, Al's Dumpster Divers coming into the week 6-3 in 4th place, taking on Nakua Matata 4-5 in 10th place. Scrappy is the name of the game here for Nakua Matata, clawing out a win, 112.07 points to Al's Dumpster Divers 104.65. This was a good one. If anyone wants a lesson on how to play the waiver wire and survive a season where you're just such bad luck with injuries, look at Patrick's work that he's doing this season, Nakua Matata, because week in and week out, picking up players off the waivers to fill in gaps, just constant injuries, loses Jaden Daniels in this game, maybe Puka Nakua too. Both had really good days up to the point when they got hurt. Jalen Warren also having a solid day for Patrick's team. Al's team, tough. Roma Dunze putting up a goose egg. Brashard Smith putting up less than 1 point. It's kind of a mystery box over there in Kansas City, figuring out when they're going to finally use the rookie. And Jake Ferguson, not a part of the Dallas passing attack as much as usual, putting up 5 points. All-time, Nakua Matata leads the series 2-1. Patrick moves up to 5-5, so 500, that magic spot there in 9th place. So clawed their way all the way back to 9th place, has a shot at the playoffs if they can survive these injuries. Al's Dumpster Divers falls to 6-4 to 5th place, still top 5, and remains comfortably in contention for the playoffs. All right, Week 9 awards. Radical Rob back in the swing of things, even though started Spencer Rattler. It's amazing. Walking through the raindrops, I tell you. Radical Rob scores his second Beauty of the Week and Large in the Margin awards this week for the season. 2 in the Pink grabs their first Anxiety Award on the season, securing the victory by 7.13 points. Matt's Gritty Goombas with a score of 90.32 just edges me out probably for Beast of the Week. Not a bad Beast of the Week score, but it was the lowest score on the week for our league. And Nakua Matata, second straight Cuff and Link Award in a row, projected to lose by 19.26 points, but pulls out a victory of 7.42 points. Impressive. Congratulations all around. All right, Week 9 standings. Top 5, we have Radical Rob, 7-2. Second place, The Pack, 6-3. Third place, Trevor's Lock, 6-3. Fourth place, Al's Dumpster Diver, 6-3. And fifth place, Molly Dangerfield at 6-3. Biggest movers on the week. Climbing the standings, we had 2 in the Pink, moving up 2 spots from 11th to 9th. Steve's Retirees moves up 2 spots from 14th to 12th, climbing out of the basement. Radical Rob moves up 2 spots from 3rd place to 1st place, big one. Trevor's Locks goes up 1 spot from 4th to 3rd. Molly Dangerfield climbs a spot from 6th to 5th. And moving the other way down the standings, we had Matt's Gritty Goombas falling 2 spots from 9th to 11th. Al's Dumpster Divers falling 2 spots from 2nd to 4th. The Pack falling 1 spot from 1st to 2nd. Lewis's team dropping 1 spot from 5th to 6th. And Dog Pound dropping 1 spot from 7th to 8th, right on the edge of that playoff bubble. All right, let's take a quick look at the playoffs as we sit here going into Week 10 with 4 weeks left in the regular season. Top 3 teams, Radical Rob, the Pack, and Trevor's Locks pretty much control their own destiny right now. Trevor's Locks, the hottest team in the league at this point, can make a top 2 push realistically, has the toughest schedule remaining out of the top 3 teams. The Pack can really use a win this week against Molly Dangerfield. That will determine a lot. Could control their path to a bye, depending on how Radical Rob fares out, who has the easiest strength of schedule for the remaining top 3 teams through the playoffs through the last 4 weeks. And then we have the 4th through 8th seeds. This is where it gets interesting because Al's Dumpster Diver sitting in 4th place, Molly Dangerfield in 5th place, Lewis's team 6th, and Dominic the Donkey in 7th, with Dog Pound sitting on the playoff bubble in 8th. We have a combination here of teams that are have very close wins, right? Only 1 win apart from each of them. So depending on who gets hot when, it's going to be really interesting because sitting just outside the playoff bubble, we have 2 in the pink, Nakua Matata, 2 teams that can spike at any time, dealing with injuries, yes, but can definitely play spoiler and make a run at the playoffs here over the next 4 weeks. And in the long shot category for the playoffs, at this point, we have the bottom 4 teams with Matt's Gritty Goombas, Steve's Retirees, Paige's Primo team, and Sleuthy Sloths. Matt's team would pretty much have to win out from here. Same with Steve's Retirees. Paige's Primo team definitely would have to win out, and unfortunately, it's pretty much almost an impossibility for Brendan's team at this point to make the playoffs with 5 wins. However, it is always fun to play spoiler, so watch out. All right, trades. We don't have any new ones, so I'm not going to keep going over these. I've been making some, been sending some text messages out, putting the feelers out there. I kind of feel like I need a wide receiver, but maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything out there that's really going to fit. Made a run at Josh Allen, but Matt's Gritty Goomba said, no way. I'm not giving up Josh Allen, no matter what. And I give you a lot of credit because that's a wise move. So our trade deadline will be in a couple weeks. The NFL trade deadline is over. Take a look at your roster. Maybe another roster has some fits. See if you can make some deals. All right. Let's get into the Week 10 matchup previews. Up first, we have Al's Dumpster Diver, 6-3 in 4th place, taking on This Ain't Last Year, number 1, 5-4 in 6th place. So we have Al taking on Lewis. Those Cape Cod boys out there are going to go to battle. All-time Al's Dumpster Diver leads the series 2-0. So 2-0 against Lewis. Lewis looking for his first win against Al. Alex's team looking to rebound after a narrow loss to Nakua Matata in Week 9. Still has Patrick Mahomes and Jahmyr Gibbs on that team, which can catch at any point in time. It's a really good team Al's put together. Also, Lewis's squad, Drake May, solid quarterback pickup off the waiver wires early in the season. Bijan Robinson. They need to get back on track this week to put Lewis back in the win column. Dog Pound taking on Dominic the Donkey. Son versus father, the ultimate showdown. 5-4, 8th place for Dog Pound. Dominic the Donkey 5-4 in 7th place. So this is a ultimate gatekeeping battle to see who might knock the other one out of playoff contention here as we move into the last few weeks of the regular season. All-time record, Dog Pound leads the series 2-0. So Dominic the Donkey has not beat Dog Pound yet in our league history. Both squads sit at 5-4. Angelo's team needs Goff and Jefferson to go off to really get back on track, especially after that tough loss to Molly Dangerfield. Dominic rides into the week behind Joe Flacco's resurgence and that reliability behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. Good luck to both teams. All right, we have Matt's Gritty Goombas, 4-5, 11th place, taking on Tua in the Pink, 5-4, 9th place. Two teams from the outside looking in, wanting to make a run at that trophy, that championship run. All-time record right now, Matt leads the series 2-0, so Tua in the Pink looking for their first win against Matt's Gritty Goombas. Matt's on a tough skid right now, looking to put a stop to that losing skid after losing to Steve's retirees. Johnny's squad lately, again, winning 2 out of the last 3, I believe, climbing back into playoff contention behind Devon Achane and Josh Jacobs, powered by the running backs. This is going to be a good one to watch and definitely has playoff implications. All right, the Battle of Winchester here. We have Molly Dangerfield, 6-3, 5th place, taking on the Pack, 6-3 in 2nd place. All-time record. Oof. The Pack leads Molly Dangerfield 4-0 lifetime. Molly's been cursing me all week, saying she's going to Manungai me, which either sounds like a racial slur or a witch's curse. I will let you decide. I'm just kidding. But Chris's team looking to bounce back after a week 9 loss to Trevor's Locks, leaning on Matt Stafford and Jonathan Taylor. Molly's looking to see if Manungai will continue to break out as a running back, which she can use the help there. And DK Metcalf will see if he continues his strong season. And this could be a playoff preview, so keep your eye peeled on this one. All right, Nakua Matata taking on Sleuthy Sloths, 4-5, 10th place team taking on the 1-8 last place team. All-time record, Nakua Matata leads the series 2-0. Patrick's going to look to keep momentum after scoring some waiver wire heroes there. Going to have to fill some gaps maybe at quarterback. But Brendan's really going to come in, I think, that point differential, those amount of points getting scored against Brendan's team is, again, just partially crappy luck because he's had some really good performances on the season. Can definitely play spoiler to some teams this season, so watch out. And Patrick's going to have to do what he can to avoid a trap game here. Page's Primo team 2-7 in 13th, taking on Trevor's Locks 6-3 in 3rd place. All-time record, Trevor's Locks leads the series 2-0 over Page's Primo team. Page's team continues to show flashes. Last week against Two in the Pink, put up a really respectable performance, enough to force the issue to where Johnny won Anxiety of the Week award, right? So it was close. But just isn't getting the consistency like they had last season. Trevor's Locks enters, I think, with a 4-game win streak behind Justin Herbert and Sam Laporta last week. And JSN just having that season, that wide receiver 1 season. It's amazing. Looks to be a bit of a mismatch going into this, but we'll see what happens once the games are played this weekend. And last but not least, we have Radical Rob, 7-2, first place team, taking on Steve's Retirees, 2-7 in 12th place, all-time record. Steve's Retirees leads the series 2-1, so he's had Rob's number historically so far by at least 1 win. Rob coming off a big win, reclaiming the top spot in week 9. Christian McCaffrey staying healthy. T. Higgins having a resurgence with Joe Flacco has Rob's team really humming there. Steve's team finally broke through last week, had a bit of good luck with Lamar back and some other really good performances. So 2 teams coming off of really nice wins. And Steve could have some influence here if he could pull out a win over Radical Rob, and Radical Rob can start a quarterback that doesn't score 0 points. This one could reverberate through the next 4 weeks as the top seeds for the playoffs fall into place. All right, Aces High. So whose team is going to have an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin to make their way to the championship, to get that trophy, right? Whose team is going to be the most balanced enough to have the spike weeks when they need them, survive injuries, survive the remaining bye weeks to get through the playoffs, to have a shot at winning the trophy, which I ordered this week, by the way. So it's on its way. Who's going to end up in a cornfield in their tighty whities like Joe Pesci, right? Buried and dead. Most of us, right? Actually, 13 out of 14 of us will eventually be in that cornfield in our underwear. But I'm going to try like hell not to be there. I'm going to be the one with the trophy at the end. That's what I'm trying for. I don't know what you're trying for. So don't fall asleep at the wheel here. There's going to be some bumps in the road. We're not out of it yet. We still have 4 weeks of really, really good matchups coming up with bye weeks included. The playoffs start in week 15. Tune in this week to find out what happens next. Enjoy.
You're in the finances, you're upstairs, but you are not on the floor. You don't see what's going on. I've got thousands of players. I got 500 dealers. They're all looking to rob me blind 24 hours a day. I have to let them know I'm watching all the details all the time, that there is not one single thing I will not catch as I am over here. Look at yours. What? Look at that. Look at this. There's nothing. Look how many blueberries your muffin has and how many mine has. Yours is falling apart. I have nothing. What are you talking about? It's like everything else in this place. You don't do it yourself, it never gets done. Where are you going? How long can this go on? From now on, I want you to put an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. An equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. You know how long that's going to take? I don't care how long it takes. Put an equal amount in each muffin.